You've been in a crash, and the at-fault driver's insurance adjuster is offering you a quick settlement. Should you accept it? Don't accept the first offer without understanding how much your claim is truly worth. In this video, I'm going to break down how to assess whether a settlement offer is reasonable and what factors you need to be looking at before you decide whether to accept any offer. Hey, I'm attorney Bourgeois, your Louisiana injury attorney. I spent years helping injured folks just like you fight back when insurance companies try to take advantage of them. If you've been injured in a crash and need someone in your corner, give me a call at 504-882-9867, where we can discuss the specifics of your offer for free. When you're injured in a crash, navigating the aftermath can be overwhelming. Along with dealing with your injuries, you now have to face the question, should I accept this settlement offer from the insurance company? In many cases, personal injury claims settle without the need of court or trial. But how do you know if the settlement offer that you were just made is fair? The simple answer is, there's not a simple answer. A reasonable offer for one person may not be suitable for another. Many factors go into determining whether a settlement is fair, and understanding those factors can help you make a more informed decision. Settlements are not one size fits all. They vary significantly depending on a variety of factors. While an insurance company may be quick to offer you a settlement, it's important that you take the time to evaluate what the offer truly covers and whether or not it is reflective of all of your damages. Here are some of the primary factors that influence what a reasonable settlement might look like for you. Jurisdiction. The city or parish where the crash occurred plays a role in determining what a reasonable settlement offer looks like for your case. Your diagnosis. What exactly are you suffering from? Are you dealing with sprains and ligament damage, or broken bones, or herniated disc requiring surgery, or traumatic brain injury, or something else? Your diagnosis is important. The length of your treatment. How long you've been undergoing medical treatment for your injuries is a significant factor in your case. If your treatment is still ongoing, the offer may need to account for future medical expenses. If you completed treatment, it may be easier to assess how much compensation you're entitled to in this case. The extent and severity of your injuries. The severity of your injuries is crucial in determining a fair settlement amount. Serious long-term injuries like spinal damage or brain injuries are worth much more than minor injuries that heal quickly. The more severe the injury, the higher the settlement offer should be. Are you fully healed by the time you've received the settlement offer? If you haven't reached maximum medical recovery, it's essential to factor in future medical costs, rehabilitation, long-term treatment, and future pain and suffering. A settlement offer should not close your case until you know the full extent of your injuries and how they will impact your future. And finally, and this is a big one, especially when you're severely injured, what are the insurance policy limits available? Both the at-fault drivers and your own insurance policy limits are important. If the responsible party has low insurance policy limits and you don't have coverage, you might be limited in what you can recover. If you do have uninsured motorist coverage, you may be able to tap into your own policy to recover full and fair value for your damages. The first step in assessing whether or not a reasonable settlement offer was made is to fully understand the extent of your injuries. When you're injured in a car crash, it's crucial to document all of your medical treatment, as well as your expenses. These include doctor's visits, prescription costs, mileage to and from the doctor, lost wages, lost paid time off, and any other money that comes out of your pocket as a result of this crash. These are called special damages, and they're typically easy to calculate because they involve specific dollar amounts. In addition to special damages, you may be entitled to general damages. Now, these damages are more subjective, but compensate you for things like your pain and suffering, loss of quality of life, emotional distress, loss of time spent with your loved ones. For these types of damages, there's no clear-cut formula. But typically, a conservative estimate for pain and suffering for a soft tissue injury might be something like $1,000 or more a month while you're actively seeking treatment. This amount may change if your injuries are more significant or severe. A good attorney will help you calculate a reasonable amount for your general damages based on your specific circumstances. To properly assess a settlement, you need to be at a stage where you reach maximum recovery, or at least be comfortable with your physical health and your medical treatment. If you've not yet completed your treatment, or if you still need additional procedures, these need to be factored into settlement discussions. For example, if your doctor recommends future treatments like surgeries or injections, your attorney needs to ensure that those costs are included in your settlement. Additionally, you want to account for ongoing pain and suffering during your recovery. A good attorney will provide guidance on what similar cases have awarded in terms of future medical costs for your similar injuries. Sometimes, the at-fault driver doesn't have enough insurance to cover all of your damage. In Louisiana, unfortunately, drivers are only required to carry $15,000 of liability insurance, and a large portion carry no insurance at all. This is usually not enough if you have significant injuries. If this happens, hopefully you have uninsured motorist coverage because you'll need to file a claim under your own UM policy. While many people hesitate to use their own UM coverage, Louisiana law does protect you from any premium increases in this situation. If you're injured in a crash, one of the most important things to do is follow through with treatment. You cannot build a strong case and claim damages without showing that you sought medical care. It's essential to attend doctor's appointments and keep a detailed record of all medical visits, prescriptions, and treatments. When it comes to evaluating settlement offers after a car crash, there are many factors to consider, and understanding these elements will help you determine whether or not the settlement offer made to you is fair and reasonable. A good lawyer will help you navigate the complexities of the settlement process and ensure your interests are protected all along the way. If you or someone you care about has been injured in a crash and you're looking for an experienced attorney who will fight for you to get you the compensation you need and deserve, reach out to me today at 504-882-9867. Remember, when you need a win, you gotta give them the L. And if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and check out this next video.